Thank you for joining us today, Viraaj. Diving right into our tech-led conversation, I would start off with my first question to you.
Sure.
India's live events industry has scaled dramatically in the last few years. From your perspective, what's changed most in the technical expectations of Indian productions today?
Firstly, thank you for having me. Good opportunity to through this interview. Good opportunity to uh, let people know on what Shure has on board at the Palm Expo this year and what are our plans going ahead. Coming back to the question, the biggest shift that we've seen today is that the Indian market is transitioning from a market which was merely we were not merely producing or rather assembling shows, but we're transitioning more into a market where we are designing high class, high quality and premium experiences, right? And the technical expectations are now at par with any global tour for that matter. Audio redundancy, for example, used to be a luxury in the past, but now it's an absolute non-negotiable baseline because the stakes are so high with massive crowds and millions of viewers watching over digital streams. There's absolutely zero tolerance for RF failures and dropouts. That is also the reason why engineers today demand absolute predictability and a high level of reliability as well. For us at Shure, we have evolved from being a hardware provider to a critical infrastructure partner to support this scale.
So, moving on to our next question, Shure's recent launch of Axion Digital PSM is making waves globally. Why is this development particularly relevant for large Indian festivals and touring productions?
So the Accent Digital PSM is a monumental game changer in multi-stage, multi-artist live festivals, which is redefining the Indian live scene. Historically, in-ear monitoring has been the most volatile variable for an RF engineer with crowded spectrum, massive LED walls, and moving artists. With this system, we've introduced a high level of spectral efficiency with our with features like spatial diversity transmission. What it does, it protects the signal from multipath interference, which now ensures that even if an artist runs across a massive festival walkway, which is surrounded by heavy interference, their in-ear, their monitor mix is pristine.
So, moving on to our next question, RF congestion is a daily reality in Indian metros. How are technologies like WMAS and Shure's digital wireless ecosystem helping engineers maintain reliability in these environments?
So managing RF in metros like Mumbai and Delhi is like negotiating peak hour traffic. There's heavy congestion and the space is always shrinking. This is where our innovation in WMAS comes into play. For example, with the Accent Digital PSM, over a single RF carrier, we can now transmit up to 4 digital channels rather than choking the airwaves with narrow individual frequencies. Combined with the wireless workbench, we now give the engineers the power to see the spectrum clearly, automate their deployments, and also dodge frequencies in real time. For international touring productions, what it also means, it gives them the power to scale channel counts without having to worry about the local RF environments.
So, moving on to the same question, like continuing this question, global touring artists now expect the same audio standards in India as anywhere else. How is Shure supporting Indian rental companies in meeting international riders and production benchmarks?
So, whenever an international A-list artist lands in India and sees Shure's Axion Digital on the Tech Rider, it breathes instant confidence into their production team. We are supporting our rental partners, local rental partners, in two ways. One is ensuring the availability of the equipment locally, and second is providing the specialized education that is needed to execute such events. Firstly, we ensure that our global flagship technology is available locally with our rental partners, backed by world-class support, which gives them the confidence to execute international scale events. Secondly, we invest very heavily in people. For, what that means is, with the Shore Academy, we give them rigorous hands-on training on how to go about using the equipment that is already present here. So essentially, we are equipping the local engineers with the required skills that are needed to execute international scale events and they're not only meeting the benchmarks, they're setting them.
What advantages do Shure's latest solutions bring to Indian sound engineers working on high pressure live shows?
That's a great question. So, in a high pressure live show environment, time is the most precious commodity, right? And so, Shure's wireless ecosystem now seamlessly natively integrates with the digital workflows with over Dante and AES 67. So, for the sound engineer, what it essentially means is a multi channel wireless rack can now be connected to a console via single network cable, ensuring pristine digital audio with zero analog degradation.
So, moving on to my last question of the day. Looking ahead, how do you see India's role evolving in the global live events landscape? And how is Shure aligning its roadmap to support that growth?
So, India is not just a destination on the global touring map. We are slowly becoming the global epicenter of live entertainment. We're increasingly seeing local Indian festival IPs expanding internationally and a lot more stadium tours and live arena concerts coming into India now.